nationwide. So far, Hillary Clinton has 1,691. Bernie Sanders has 895.
Let's take a closer look at Tuesday's results. We're joined now by Dave Jacobson, a Democratic strategist and a campaign consultant with Shalman Communications. John Thomas is with us as well. He's a Republican consultant and founder and president of Thomas Partners Strategies. Thank you to you both for joining us. By now, they should know your bios.
I hope so. I hope so.
So what do you make of it? Let's talk about the results we do have in for now, which is Arizona. Your thoughts?
Big win for Trump, although that makes sense. Arizona is a state where immigration is really a hot issue. Trump needed a big win tonight. He got it. What was interesting was a lot of people were saying Rubio was going to be a spoiler because he was on the ballot.
Yeah.
And they had a large early voting block. And a lot of people said those people, more than half, broke for Rubio. He only got 16% tonight. It wouldn't have changed the outcome.
Just keeping the trend with Rubio.
This is good for Donald Trump because Arizona is a lot like California in its demographic
That's
makeup.
right.
Okay.
It's very good. And in California, Donald Trump in recent field polls is up by almost 20 points.
Okay, Dave, to bring you in to talk about the Democrats, a win for Clinton, but it's a proportional win.
Right, look, no surprises. She's been beating Bernie Sanders in this state by double digits. It's right next door to Nevada, where she had a decisive win just weeks ago. That was sort of the turning point in that race, where prior to Nevada, she had lost by a whopping 22 points in New Hampshire. So she sort of needed that big win in Nevada. She won decisively by 6 points there. So, there's no surprise that she picked up a big win tonight in Arizona, particularly also because of the Latino population, where she has generated enormous support from this constituency. Bernie Sanders, on the other hand, hasn't been able to break through with minority voters.
Okay, Bernie keeps getting big crowds. He keeps getting a lot of money. He does everything except for win.
That's a problem for him.
It's a problem for him, right?
No, he did say tonight, though, that he's won 10 races and basically making the point he is going to stay in this fight.
Yes, but math is what you have to focus on. You can win 10 races, but it's the delegate game, as you guys just showed, and it looks increasingly like there is not a path for Bernie Sanders.
Let's go to Utah, because this is obviously, this is going to go Ted Cruz, but the question is, can he get over 50%? Will John Kasich be the spoiler here and stop him from reaching that 50% mark? Because to get over 50%, you get all the delegates.
This is a classic prisoner's dilemma, right? Because if Kasich dropped out, it is possible those voters go to Cruz, and Cruz has the best chance at probably stopping Donald Trump. But Kasich is probably going to be the spoiler. We'll see if he gets 50%. There was a little bit of fracture in Utah with some of the Republicans. Romney said a vote for Kasich is a vote for Trump. We'll see what happens tonight. If Cruz breaks 50%, I think it just adds pressure to Kasich to drop out of this thing.
Well, and I think it underscores the importance of Cruz performing well tonight in Utah, because I think something like over the next 27 days on the Republican side, I think Wisconsin's the only election that you actually have for many, many weeks. So, Cruz really needs some momentum to sort of propel his campaign moving forward, because he's going to have a significant gap in terms of elections.
Let's talk Utah very quickly, because if you thought this campaign could not get any worse, it now has, because in Utah, a super PAC for Ted Cruz used a photograph of Melania Trump, Donald Trump's wife. She was posing naked,
a magazine
for a
shoot
magazine cover many years ago. And the caption was, "Meet your next First Lady." And beneath it said, "Unless, of course, you vote for Ted Cruz." Donald Trump a few hours ago tweeted this out. "Lion Ted Cruz just used a picture of Melania from a GQ shoot in his ad. Be careful, Lion Ted, or I will spill the beans on your wife." Ted Cruz responded, "Pic of your wife, not from us. Donald, if you try to attack Heidi, you're more of a coward than I thought. Hashtag classless." I mean, this does beg the question. They said they wanted to do this ad in Utah, which is a very conservative state. But Trump is so far behind in Utah. What were they hoping to gain, unless there's something else going on here?
That's assuming that super PACs are rational. They are not rational oftentimes. They might have just thought this is a way to make headlines and maybe raise more money for the super PAC. I mean, we don't really know what their motivations were. Strategically, it doesn't seem to make sense. And for Donald Trump, look, it's a good thing for him. If they're picking on his wife, he can then go out, he can get the sympathy vote.
No, but Dave, and I want you to respond to this. The point that is being made is that they're effectively slut-shaming, to use a phrase that's commonly used. They're trying to embarrass his wife and using that as a point to capitalize on, which is a really distasteful move.
Right. Well, look, I think, first of all, if you're running a super PAC or an independent expenditure, priority number one is to do no harm. And I think this could potentially backfire. I mean, it's one thing to go after a candidate. It's another thing to stoop to a different level to go after a candidate's wife. I think it really highlights the fact that the gloves are off. This is bare-knuckle politics, schoolyard politics, and the Ted Cruz campaign and their allies who are running their super PACs are getting desperate because they see Donald Trump having these enormous leads in all these states that we have, moving forward. forward in New York and California. They've got to do something different to sort of shake up this race if they want to prevent Trump from getting that 1237 delegate number.
But it's a slippery slope because it can have ramifications beyond it.
Agreed.
Makes me wonder where it will all end.
Well, we'll be talking about it tomorrow. I know we will.
Thanks,
Yeah,
guys.
I'm sure.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
And when we return, we'll head back live to Brussels with some touching tributes for the victims